My name is Amanda Conrads. I'm a dispatcher at the Regional Communication Center, and I've worked here for 14 months now. So I'd only been training for about a month. I got an open 911 line. I could immediately tell that it was a female. She'd dial 911, put the phone down on the seat next to her, and I couldn't get a GPS location on her phone. We didn't have any history on the phone number. I didn't have an address where to start with. And for the next 45 minutes, I sat and listened to a male verbally and physically abuse this person, and it was awful. It was extremely frustrating to know that my job was to get her help, and I didn't have a way to do that. So for the next 45 minutes, I tried to pull names out of the argument they were having, and I researched names, and we sent sheriff's deputies to probably 4 different addresses, and I don't even know how we found the last address, but it was on the other side of the county. We sent deputies out there, and they were about to clear, and they heard her screaming. Even though it was painful and it was long and it was not the response time we want, we got her help. And I think that that was cool to see, that even though I felt helpless, I was still helping. And I don't know what happened after that. I never heard how that ended, but I know that she called for help, and eventually we got help there. Another really difficult call that I think about almost immediately when somebody asks if my job is hard is a 3-year-old not breathing. It's a tough call. It's a tough call to answer the phone and hear somebody screaming for help for a child. And I think what's hard about this job is people expect to call 911 and you'll get them help, and you will. But I think that it's also hard for people to remember that we're people too. And when somebody calls 911, their tragedy becomes our tragedy in that moment. And their emergency becomes our emergency. And I think on some level, we're feeling all of the things that they're feeling at that moment. I think working up here is so interesting because you deal with such a wide range of horrible, awful, and good. I don't think in any other job you experience the full spectrum of human emotions and what humans deal with. I think one of the coolest calls I've ever had was I got to deliver a baby in Fruta. I was on a night shift, and I answered a 911, said their friend was having a baby, and got to the part where I asked if they could see or feel any part of the baby, and they said, "We see the face." And I thought, oh my gosh, this is happening, really happening. Sometimes in those outlying agencies, it takes just a little longer to get an ambulance. So got to deliver the baby, got to make sure the baby was breathing and crying, tie off the umbilical cord, make sure mom was okay, and that was pretty cool. I got off the phone after that and kind of thought, man, that's something that not many people get to do. And I probably will never meet that family or know that child, but I got to help bring somebody into the world, and that was pretty cool.